Hi, boys and girls. It's time for our read aloud. And something about reading books to you guys just always makes me happy. I have been reading to kindergartners for, almost 17 years now. It's a very long time. And one of my favorite things to do every single day is to sit down and to read a story to my kids. Now, the last few days, we've read books that show different friendships. Yesterday's book was about two boys, and one of the boys was kind of like, hi, and the other one was like, hey, and they're like talking back and forth, and he had no friends, and the guy's like, hey, well, be mine, what about me? And I thought, wow, that's really cool for kindergartners, because at the beginning of the school year, so often we aren't sure how to make friends. And some of the lessons we teach at kindergarten are about how to make friends. When I was in kindergarten, I was really shy. I'm sure you probably don't believe this about me, but I didn't like to talk to anybody. I had grown up with a brother, and I played with my cousins and my two neighbor kids. And other than that, I didn't talk to anybody. So when I went to kindergarten, I was really shy. And my teacher, she scared me. She's a nice lady, but she terrified me. And I did not go to school every single day because I'm from like way back in the old days. And back then, kindergartners only went to school for a half a day. But see, I lived way out in the country. And so we didn't have enough school buses to do half-day kindergarten. So I went to school part-time, which means that I only went to school 3 days a week in the fall. Well, actually 2 days a week in the fall and 3 days a week in the spring. So I went to school about half-time, but I did it on just like every other day. And I remember the first friend I made, her name was Kristen. And I'm in my 40s, and you know that I still remember she was wearing a tan sundress with blue flowers and blue flip-flops. And she was just like me. She was shy. So today we're going to read a story, and you're going to look for the friendship in this. And I want you to think about making friends and what it's like to have a friend and what it means to be a good friend. At the beginning of the school year, the kids who were with me, they heard the stories by Kevin Hinckus called Chrysanthemum, Lily's Purple Plastic Purse, and Wimberly Worried. And Kevin Hinckus wrote all those books about these little mice characters. But he also wrote the book we're reading today, and it's called Jessica. And he drew the pictures. So here is the front cover of Jessica. Now, Jessica is not about mice. This is the first of his books that I have read to kids that is not a mouse book. So you see the little girl? And it says, hold on tight, Jessica. She's pulling her wagon. Who is she talking to? Is there anybody there? I wonder if you can make a prediction. Based on what you see in this picture, her saying, hold on tight, Jessica, and there not being anybody there, do you think you know what this is about? If you have an idea, that's called making a prediction. So here is the little girl, and it says, good jump, Jessica. We're almost there, Jessica. That's very curious, isn't it? Jessica is my best friend. Ruthie Sims didn't have a dog. She didn't have a cat or a brother or a sister. But Jessica was the next best thing. Who is Jessica? Jessica went wherever Ruthie went. My toes are cold too, Jessica. To the moon, to the playground. Not too high, Jessica. to Ruthie's grandma's for the weekend. Jessica's not ready yet. Have you figured out who Jessica is? There is no Jessica, said Ruthie's parents. But there was. She ate with Ruthie. Careful, Jessica, it's hot. Looked at books with Ruthie. Once upon a time, Jessica. And took turns stacking blocks with Ruthie, building towers. Do you think Jessica might be an imaginary friend? Do any of you have an imaginary friend? If Ruthie was mad, so was Jessica. Look at Ruthie's mad face. If you look at that picture that illustrator made, you can definitely tell she's mad. Not only are her eyebrows slanting down, do you see that? And her mouth's in a frown. Even her cheeks are all flushed and red. If Ruthie was sad, Jessica was too. And if Ruthie was glad, Jessica felt exactly the same. Do you guys have imaginary friends? You know, when I was little, I was 4, and I lived in this house. We had sold our house. My dad and mom were building a new house, and so we were renting a house, and it was a new place, and we weren't there very long. But for some reason, I remember having imaginary friends there, and my imaginary friends were pigs. They were a family of pigs. So imaginary means that we are playing with our imaginations. So Jessica feels real and Ruthie acts like she's real, but is there really a person there named Jessica? No, she lives in Ruthie's imagination, and you can have an imaginary friend too. Sometimes it's just fun. When Ruthie accidentally spilled some juice, she said, "Jessica did it, and she's sorry." When Ruthie's parents called a babysitter because they wanted to go to a movie one night, Ruthie said, "Jessica has a stomachache and wants you to stay home." And when Ruthie turned 5, it was Jessica's 5th birthday too. There is no Jessica, said Ruthie's parents. But there was. She went to bed with Ruthie. Sleep tight, Jessica. She got up with Ruthie. Rise and shine, Jessica. And she stayed with Ruthie all the while in between. Ready or not, here I come, Jessica. On the night before the first day of kindergarten, she's just like you guys. Ruthie's mother said, "I think Jessica should stay home tomorrow." Ruthie's father said, "You'll meet a lot of nice children. You can make new friends." But Jessica went anyway. "Come on, Jessica, it'll be okay." Jessica wanted to go home so badly that Ruthie had to hold her hands and whisper to her. When the teacher announced everyone's name, Ruthie and Jessica weren't listening. So here are all their names: Ruthie, Christopher, Susan, Jessica, Bea, Libby, Carla, Doris, Peter, Barney, Dave, Peggy, Tony, Joe, Mary Ellen, Peter, Betty, Jim, and John. Jessica crawled through a tunnel with Ruthie. "Don't get lost, Jessica." She took a nap with Ruthie. "I can't sleep either, Jessica." And she shared Ruthie's paintbrush during art by R plus J, by Ruthie and Jessica. I think the danger here is that Ruthie is missing her chance to make another friend, isn't she? When all the children lined up 2 by 2s to march to the lavatory, that's another word for like the bathroom, Jessica was right next to Ruthie. A girl came up to Ruthie and stood by her side. "Can I be your partner?" she asked. Ruthie didn't know what to say. See how they're in groups of 2? So there's 2 kids here, 2 kids here, 2 kids here, 2 kids here, and then here's Ruthie with Jessica. And then this little girl asked to be her partner, and Ruthie doesn't know what to say. Doesn't it look like the partners are becoming buddies and friends? So what do you think Ruthie's going to say? Do you think she's going to let the little girl be her partner? Let's see. "My name is Jessica," said the girl. "It is?" said Ruthie. The girl nodded. "Mine's Ruthie," said Ruthie, smiling. And they walked down the hallway hand in hand. Isn't that funny? Here her imaginary friend's name was Jessica, and the first friend she made in kindergarten was also named Jessica. I love that. I think that's kind of cool. Ruthie Sims didn't have a dog. She didn't have a cat or a brother or a sister, but Jessica was even better. Now it looks like they became very good friends, doesn't it? Now her parents can't say that Jessica isn't real, because there is a real Jessica, isn't there? I like that story. I like all of his stories. So if you are not or were not in Miss Frase's class early in the year, you might go back to some of those first read alouds from week 1. And I read those first 3 days of school. I did read some of his books, When Really Worried, Chrysanthemum, and Lily's Purple Plastic Purse, and I love those stories, so I think the kids might enjoy them if you're looking for something to listen to. I hope you guys have a fabulous day. I hope you enjoyed reading about Jessica, Ruthie's imaginary friend, and how she met and made a new friend in kindergarten. Sometimes the way that we make friends is we just get to know each other. That's what's so crazy, is when you come to kindergarten, people are scared, and it's mostly because they don't know anybody. And you might feel nervous or quiet or shy, and that's okay, because we can all feel that way. But once we get to know people, we start to learn who can be our friends. And I hope that you guys make so many friends this year. Kindergarten is the time to make a lot of great friends. Anyway, have a fabulous day, and I'll see you later.